Welcome to News You Can Use. I'm Patty Nash, your host. And on today's show, we're going to celebrate August, the fact that summer is not over yet, so don't despair. We have with us Kevin Kelley, who runs the Parks and Recreation Department for the City of Wilmington. He's going to talk about some events that are happening through the month. And we also have with us Mr. Eddie McGrath, our science coordinator in the district. And Eddie started what's become a very successful summer enrichment program, the STEM Summer Enrichment Program. So welcome, Eddie, to News You Can Use.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Patty.
So tell us, when was the program created and why was it created?
Well, we created it in 2011. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. And it was a summer enrichment program, kind of a answer to a call from the community. We had already had several enrichment programs for elementary students in reading and math, but there was definitely a call for, number one, something at the middle school level and something where students could actually create and experiment on things in a fairly controlled but a very relaxed environment. Mm-hmm. So we started in 2011 with 60 students, 3 programs. That year we did, we did robotics, we did bridge building with balsa wood, and we created cars that were propelled by little CO2 packs. That was it. We had a huge response. We had to put a lot of names on the wait list just because it was our first year.
And that was all word of mouth. I mean, it wasn't like
pretty much. I mean, we did send a mailer out in March to middle school families.
Right.
They weren't sure exactly what it was, but we got a big response. Our purpose was to keep it small, just because personally I wasn't quite sure how it would go. And my biggest concern was then and is today the safety of the students. Mm-hmm. So
sure.
Figured, let's take it small, let's take it slow, see how it goes. Can we manage it? Is there interest in it? And then take a look at it the next year. And there was great interest that first year. Mm-hmm. We expanded it pretty much 3 times the size the following year. Mm-hmm. And every year we have, even if it hasn't necessarily grown in numbers, and It has several times since then, we've added some component to it from year to year to year.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. It seems that STEM is kind of, I don't know if you have buzzwords in education, but it is. I mean, I see STEM preschools.
Sure.
So why is STEM so important in education?
That's a good question. What we now know is that over 65% of the jobs that we are preparing for students will come from these fields, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics fields. Mm-hmm. When we ask people in the workplace, what are you looking for in graduates and students, they're really not interested in whether these students know Newton's laws or the periodic table or can rattle off parts of the water cycle. What they want to know is, can these students persevere on a problem? Can they create a question? Can they come up with an approach in a short amount of time? Mm-hmm. Can they learn from mistakes? That, to me, may be one of the biggest hallmarks of this program is you try something, it doesn't work, so you try something else. Mm-hmm. The other component about the summer program, it's brief. And I recently heard a quote from Leonard Bernstein that greatness comes when you have everything you need and not quite enough time. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what we have to do.
We used to say in the newspaper business that if I had more time, it would have been shorter.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
because
yes.
Brevity does go a long way sometimes.
And the whole idea is they have to be able to come up with something. And the other piece that's really important about this program is they need to be able to communicate what they've done to the public.
Okay. So, and I know that what you do to accomplish that is you invite the public in and the parents in every Thursday. The program runs Monday through Thursdays.
Right.
This year it's Conrad Schools of Science.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. We're at various high schools. We usually prefer a high school because they have the science rooms that will accommodate our needs best.
Okay.
And we've been in a couple of different high schools for our programs.
Okay.
It depends on what else is going on over the summer in the district.
Right.
Dr. Doherty has said many times he thinks we really are running a year-long school program.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that Red Clay is a year-long district. So
Yeah.
he's not far off, I don't think.
Nope, he isn't.
Yeah.
So, is there a student cost to the program?
There is now. In the very beginning, that was absorbed by Race to the Top.
Okay.
However, we do have a very minimal cost. This year, it was $20. Again, it's sort of we look at the cost each year to see where are we, how many people are we expecting, what are our expenses going to be, but we keep the cost very, very low.
Okay.
And you know, we do try and make accommodations for students for whom cost would be a hardship.
Prohibitive.
Exactly, so
yeah.
that everybody is able to participate in this program.
And what kind of reaction do you get from the kids? Do they have fun?
They seem to have a blast.
Okay.
And it's nice. I can say, listen to all these satisfied customers, but the truth is, one of the things that we track is how many students do come from one year to the next that is
okay.
eligible. We now are able to accommodate students from who have finished 4th grade through those who have finished 8th grade. So we span 5 grades, and we see a lot of kids come multiple years, sometimes every year they're eligible. One of the things that was very exciting, which unfortunately I haven't really figured out a good way of tracking, is we get a lot of siblings.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's word of mouth.
Yeah, the brother comes and, oh, we had such a good time. My little brother's going to be in 7th grade, it's 6th grade next year.
That's good.
And, you know, we're able to accommodate that way. Once we started the elementary program last year, and we started seeing a lot of students that were in both programs. So, you know, parents really like that because it's one-stop shopping. When they come to visit, they can look
Yeah.
at both programs.
Does the district do anything to try and reach out to underrepresented kids that might, you know, not think of STEM
Well,
careers for themselves?
Sometimes that is difficult. We do, a lot of the after-school programs do that. We, in our goals statements, have been identifying being able to reach out to underrepresented groups. One of the big underrepresented groups in STEM particularly is females.
Okay.
It seems children, male and female, pretty much of all ages, love science in the very early grades. And for some reason, once they reach middle school, which is another reason we targeted middle school first, a lot of that interest seems to decline, and much more in girls than boys.
Yeah, same with math, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And so a lot of
Well,
times...
STEM is math,
Yeah,
too.
it is. And a lot of times what we do is we try and encourage both students and teachers from underrepresented groups to apply. We try and have themes that would be universally appealing. In the last couple of years, we have found we have a course. For middle school, we run 9 classes. For elementary, we run 7.
Okay.
In the middle school, one of our most popular courses has been biomedical mysteries, and that has been very, very popular. This year we ran one called City Design, which is designing a city of the future.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And this year we came up, excuse me, I beg your pardon, it was last year, we came up with a theme, making the world a better place. We have found a lot of the underrepresented groups really want to see what they can do to improve our planet.
Wow.
And a lot of what
That's
we're
nice to
really
hear.
targeting is downplaying the competitive pieces and much more, how will this prepare you for a job that you and I can't even quite picture?
That's
Because
right.
that's the other thing about the
But problem solving
Exactly.
and thinking and
that we're
those
preparing
skills.
students,
Yeah.
for
Well, that's
jobs we
great.
can't imagine.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
So it's too late if you want to register for this year because Eddie's talking about what's going on this summer. When is registration time if somebody's out
What
there
we
and they're
do
interested?
in the Red Clay community is for all eligible families, that is all families with a child in grades 4 through 8 in Red Clay, they get an information letter in early March.
Okay.
That is the application. The application goes to the child's school.
Okay.
Now, we do admit students that are not Red Clay students. We do even admit students that are not Red Clay residents, but there is a hierarchy.
Okay.
We
Okay.
admit these, then these, then these. We have a certain number of spaces because another thing, and you remember me saying that safety is absolutely the first thing. we try and cap all the classes at 20 students.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, just for that very reason. Some of them go over a little bit, like robotics and
And these
computer
are Red Clay
programming.
teachers who are teaching.
For the
these.
most part. A
Yeah.
few people from outside of Red Clay.
But I mean, they're teachers.
Yes,
These
they
are
are. They are
teachers.
definitely
Yeah.
certified teachers.
Yeah.
So what we do then is we create a wait list.
Okay.
And what happens is then when we invite the students, we tell them what these are the classes that we're able to fit you in.
Mm-hmm.
Try and make their choices as close as we can, but it's not always
Right.
possible. Then, if for anybody who hasn't responded by the deadline, then we start calling off the wait list. People cancel for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
So I mean, elementary this year we were, unfortunately, we did have a pretty substantial wait list.
Okay.
Middle school, I think we might have had only a handful of names on it, but we
Okay.
did pretty well.
Okay, so that makes sense. Registration in March, that's when people are kind of looking around for summer
Right,
camps and
right.
trying to figure out what they're going to do.
And that's more survival too, because I need that much time to get it ready.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, congratulations, Eddie.
Yes.
It's a very successful program, and
it is.
we're glad that there was another summer. What might we be looking for next year?
Well, you know, that's funny. We were just talking about that today. We're looking to possibly introduce a forensics class.
Oh, very fun.
Possibly the biomedical class I talked about would probably actually focus much less on diagnostic tests and much more on patient care.
Uh-huh.
So we would be pulling people in to kind of be mock patients and help the students be able to communicate, you know, as if they were talking to a prospective patient, possibly bringing in various healthcare folks. That's another thing. We do bring people from the larger community, Delaware Nature Society. We had folks from the University of Delaware Department of Mechanical Engineering come in
Nice.
at various times. So we do
Great.
things like that. Last year, I don't want to forget to do this, we did start giving T-shirts because we do have a logo.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And I've provided this for you. This is your T-shirt. Is there, if we can get the camera on this, is that possible? No. Okay. Well, basically, if anyone watching, if your children went, they probably saw this T-shirt.
I love it.
This
I
is
will wear it
our own-
proudly,
this is
Eddie.
our own
Thank
logo.
you so much.
Has S Cubed is the name of the program, STEM Summer Scholars. We kind of a lighter color of the Red Clay Schoolhouse, and then on the back has the globe, and it says "Making the World a Better Place."
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you
So
so much.
enjoy.
I never got a gift before
Well.
on News You Can Use. I like
You
that.
never interviewed me, did you?
No, I never have, Eddie. I should have done it a year ago.
Of course.
Thank you
Always
very
a pleasure,
much.
Patty. Thank
Please
you.
stay with us. We have Kelley here from the Wilmington Parks and Recreation Department, and we're going to celebrate that there's still a month left of summer. It's only August, so stay with us. Thanks very much.
Just waking up and going to school and learning, it makes me feel good as a person. I'm a single mother and I got pregnant and I was the main one working, so I did what I had to do to survive. I never thought that I could go back to school and get it, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
You're winning today.
We're so very proud of you and love you so much.
Yeah, it's hard, but don't be afraid. Keep on going and keep on trying. You can do anything you want.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hi, and welcome back to News You Can Use. Today we're celebrating the fact that it is still summer. We do still have some summer left. And here to talk about some things that are going on is Mr. Kelley, who runs the Wilmington Parks and Recreation Department. Welcome, Mr. Kelley.
It's a pleasure to be here. Not to just digress real quick, but when I was on City Council, we kind of helped create the Ed TV.
Yes, you did.
Through the
Yes, you did.
Cable Commission, and it's a pleasure to be out there to see this illustrious little setup you have here.
Thank you very much.
It works well, and getting information out to individuals is key.
Yeah.
As to what goes on, that's for sure.
We do try, and I will say that Mr. Kelley was a very thorough questioner on the Cable Commission. I think that meeting lasted for about 3 hours,
Yes,
didn't it?
Yes, it
It
did.
did. It did. I was grilled by the Cable Commission of Wilmington.
You survived.
I survived,
You
and
survived well.
EdTV is a reality. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Once again. So tell us a little bit, before we get into what's going on this month, tell us a little bit about what the Parks and Recreation Department does.
Well, the Parks and Recreation Department's probably been around since 1883. It was a commission that started a long time ago where we began with Eden Park, which is down in Southbridge, and a few other parks that were put together. Mr. Canby put some stuff together. Mr. Bancroft and Jenny Weaver kind of had the vision to put parks in the city of Wilmington. So if you're in the city of Wilmington, you're really, I looked the other day, I manage 82 parks.
There's
that
82 parks in
Just
the city?
82, yeah, 82 different parks and
Wow.
parcels. We also have Valley Gardens and Hoops and Surratt Park and Canby, some bigger ones. But what's good about the park system in the city is you don't have to go probably more than a quarter mile to be in a park. So there's a lot of parks in the city. So we kind of do several different things within the city. We have the parks. People go hang out, their children play. We just dedicated a brand new park at 4th and Rodney the other day, kind of cool looking. You climb up on. It's not the swing set and the merry-go-round that you and I were accustomed to in a park. It's kind of a new age one. So we do the parks where we have individuals who want to come there. Within the parks, we offer programs now in the summer. So right now we have a feeding program. We have lunches from 10 to 2 every day at about 20 sites throughout the city. And throughout, we do a lot of daycares and camps. So we feed probably about 2,000 or more people a day with some of our programs with feed. Then we have evening programs as well. We have the recreation, and we do the basketball leagues, the football leagues. We help with tennis. We're trying to do lacrosse. Those things that we do. We have Hicks Anderson Community Center, which is located in West Center City.
Yes.
That's a community center with a gym, with a pool, game room, and a lot of activities for young people. There, we're running a summer camp now, Camp Hope, for young people who live in West Center City, and a safe haven program for teenagers to try and get them off the streets late at night.
Okay.
We also have the youth and family. So right now we're immersed in our summer youth program. We have about 400 young people who live in the city and county who are working in a variety of locations, both within the city of Wilmington, privates, and daycares and so forth. So we're just about done that program. A few more weeks to go. We just had a big symposium this morning teaching young people with Bank America about how to handle your money. And we had a few people who come in and explained, how they really got ahead in life, even though they had some challenges to see.
Okay.
We do youth and families where we do college tours. We take young people on college tours. We do the after-school tutoring program. And, we kind of guide a lot of individuals with visions for how youth services should be, working a lot with the Center for Disease Control report.
Okay, so there's a range of programs for all different ages, it
Yes.
sounds like.
And also seniors, as you say, we have seniors who have senior programs to help them as well.
Okay. How do you determine what programs might be beneficial for the people of Wilmington?
Well, that's a good question. I've been on the job for about 6 or 7 months, and there's a difference between an activity and a program. I say this all the time. An activity is where you put a basketball out and you play basketball. A program is where you play basketball, then afterwards we teach you leadership skills. We teach you how to learn to study. We teach you life skills. That's a program. So right now, I really are reviewing a lot of what we do because, you've got to measure what you're doing at the end of the day because, young people need to better themselves. We need to make them better in life.
Sure.
So we're starting to look at what we have. A lot of it, I think, needs to be thunk in different ways, I would say. The athletics do not draw young people like they used to be.
Okay.
It's challenging. Like we have parks where kids they come to get a lunch and they go home. So we've got to rethink. Like this studio is a perfect example of what young people want. They like to produce things. They like technology. They're stuck to their phone. and they want to be in entrepreneurship. So you've got to take a parks department that's been used to having an athletic kind of draw to
Right.
one now that mixes athletics and other things that young people want to do.
Okay.
So, and have fun at the end of the day as well.
Okay. And you talked a little bit about the programs that you offer. Where can people get more information about these
Well, you can go to the
programs?
city webpage, to get information on there. And we have to do a better job of getting information out. No matter what we try to do, even with the previous person here with STEM and so forth, you need to have outreach.
Yes.
You've got to go out and engage. Not everybody in the world gets all their information from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You have to have that personal connection. So one thing I want to try and start doing is how do you engage that more with people to do it?
Right.
The internet, you can get so much, but to have people in neighborhoods who know about the programs. And the best way to get people to know about programs is where you have successful programs.
Right.
Where people
It's
really
word of
like-
mouth.
It's word of mouth. That's what everything
And that's
is.
what I was saying to
Yeah,
Eddie about
yeah.
STEM, the STEM
Yes,
program.
yeah.
It's word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's somebody liking the program.
Right.
And did you find that some of the athletic programs, you said they weren't drawing the kids anymore?
Well, they are and they aren't. I think in the summer, right now we're doing well. I mean, we have a basketball league. We have a couple we're sponsoring, helping with. Droop is a young man from the east side who has a league for kids in the city that are struggling, but a very good league. So we have there on Wednesdays and Fridays at West Center City. We have 8 teams, about 150 people who come to watch that.
Okay.
We have a league for younger kids, 8 to 14, that are playing at the PAL.
Uh-huh.
In the wintertime, we have a basketball league with 500 young people playing and people coming. What I'm trying to do is when those parents come to those games, how do I engage them with some information they could use?
Okay.
Before I've had the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts. You have a parent coming to watch a game. How do we give them some additional information about the programs we run?
Right.
So in that respect, we do have things where we are having a real struggle sometimes is with young ladies. And what do we do for young ladies? And how do we track them to be able to be in something other than just being this, fly on the wall, for lack of a better word, and not really
Right.
engaging in anything.
Yeah.
So it's a lot going on, but I'm having fun.
Good. Anything special going on in August that people
Well,
wanna know
August
about?
it's always hot in August.
Yes.
I'm saying
It's been hot.
It's been hot. So in August we have our pools open.
Okay.
We have pools open. We have Eden Pool, we have Brown Pool, West Center City, PS, and Prices. We
Okay.
just dedicated Prices to Vice President Biden. It's called the Biden
Oh,
Aquatic
sure.
Center.
I
Yeah.
saw him sitting on the chair.
On the
Yes.
life. That was his first job. That was his first job
Oh,
at
okay.
over there at Prices Run, as we would call it. We still have our lunch program. We have
Okay.
the evening program that we're doing.
Okay.
We'll be transitioning in to the fall program, but
Mm-hmm.
the pools will be open still another few weeks for people to go. The parks are open every day. I mean, parks never shut down, dusk to dawn.
Okay.
But there's always something where you have movies in the park. So what we do is we bring the bandstand in. We show a movie in the park. We give out popcorn. We give out
Nice.
water ice.
Yeah.
for
We
everybody.
do that in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
I
so-
live in the city.
Right, so we're having those. If you look on the city's webpage, we'll be at Albert Palmer, but each week there's probably 2 movies. Anyone's more than welcome to come to those movies.
Mm-hmm.
They usually start about 8:30. We show you like Minions and all these kids movies.
Uh-huh.
You can only have about an hour and
The
10
kids
minutes.
must love that.
Yeah, they
though.
do. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool to be that, and what we're trying to do is get a portable system. I'm a guy about taking things right to street corners.
Okay.
I'd like to show the movies right on the corner. You close the street off.
You know what you need? You
did-
need a Wilmington Jumbotron
Yeah, that's true.
that
We'd
you
like
can
to
drive around.
Yeah, and just
I rented one of those one day.
Yeah, and we-
Those are expensive to rent for the day.
right. So we have those programs that are going on, but what we want to make people do, we want them to start being healthy and engaging.
Mm-hmm.
All too often we see young people who are getting obese at an early age,
Mm-hmm.
and it's tough to get it after a while.
Right.
So I think in the fall we're really going to start talking about how do we make young people fitter.
Okay.
And one of the ideas that I have, I got a lot of ideas. Too many my staff tell me. But how do we take a group of young people who are probably in middle school or earlier and get them a Fitbit and measure what they're doing each day.
Well, there you go,
With
with
a
the
goal,
technology.
with a goal,
Yeah.
with the STEM of a goal, we'll try and say, okay, can you do 5,000 steps a day?
Right.
How do we get you there? You know what I mean? And use
They
that
might
tech-
with a Fitbit.
Right, and some incentive to be able to get it
Sure.
done. That's what we say.
Sure.
That's
Well,
all.
that sounds great. Well, congratulations. It sounds like you have a lot of great ideas, as you said. And,
Yes.
and I'm sure that you'll be starting a lot of good programs. You come back and see us.
We'd be glad to come back
And
in
let
the
us
in
know.
the fall
In the
as
fall,
we get into
yeah.
our fall season with people, and I think I'll have probably more ideas then.
Okay.
To maybe see. But I said, you know, if you're in the city of Wilmington, there's a park within reach of your neighborhood of where you live. Go out there with your mom and dad and hang out, ride the swings, play a little basketball, play a little tennis. But get out of the house. I mean, that's really what summer's for, not to be cooped up
Yes.
inside. Get outside, enjoy yourselves, and I'm sure there's something in a park that you'll find that you'll like.
Okay, great. It is coming. School starts August 28th for
Darn.
grades 1 through 6 and 9. You were already seeing the back to school commercials on
Yes,
television. They start
yes.
way too soon. All grades report on August 29th, and the first week will be a split week for kindergarten. That's a great program Red Clay does where only half the class comes in for one of the days, and just to let the kids get used to the classroom and used to being in school. And it's so that's a nice thing that we do. So anyway, thank you very much
Thank
for coming
you very
on
much.
today.
Good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
Okay.
And to all of you out there, we have no idea how many there are, but
Really? What did you think?
I don't know. I have no idea. Write us if you're watching. Patty Nash, PATI.NASH at Red Clay. We'll put up the address down there if you have any comments on the show or suggestions. They're always welcome. So thanks very much for tuning in to News You Can Use.